All right, what's going on today, guys? I did make some changes today, and first change you can see is pretty obvious. I added Yuna, so hopefully we can get some healing in on this. I thought my Yuna was 120, but she's not, so I'm not gonna have the full life enhancement. That's just gonna be what it is. So the other change I made was that I actually added some accuracy stuff. First thing being the wolf helmet. It's pretty maxed-ish, but it's only a +3, and apparently you can't hammer or seal dexterity specifically, so that's just gonna be their 16 out of 20 it's supposed to be, but that is gonna help us get some accuracy between the accuracy and the dexterity, and it still provides a pretty good amount of defense, so I think that's definitely a good choice. I'm also going for the Moogle VC there. I took out any kind of bonus card because I just wanted to see if this team could do better, straight up better, in more situations than necessarily get the bonus and just get points off of the ranking. So that's another thing. Yuna also has the enhanced holy. I forget what it's called, but that should be the guaranteed hit. I mean, any healer with holy should be able to slot in, but I really honestly don't even have another healer. I think I do have Ayaka, but I haven't built her up yet. There's other thing that I noticed is that both bells and this thing, the pod 153, they actually have built-in accuracy. So it's kind of weird to me that it hasn't really been helping all this time, but hopefully between the wolf helmet and the Moogle card, hopefully that should add up. So the Moogle card is like 18 currently. At level 70 it's 18 accuracy, so hopefully that combined with the 12 or so that the accessories have, hopefully that should be enough. That's around 30. I'm guessing that's 30% better. I'm not really sure, but I think that's it. So let's get in there and see if we could find something good. All right, so here's a 2B. So this is looking pretty evadey. All right, so let's jump in. Tifa got the ribbon, and 2B has the Sage's hat. So let's go in there and see how we do. By the way, I accidentally did one battle that wasn't recording, so sorry about that. Let's just jump into this one. I think this is probably the most evadey team. Not possible, but available right now. So, alright, so I'm hoping that Yuna could get in there and start healing if it's needed. I'm hoping that Lilith can do some big damage and, is free to use whatever attack and not just her accuracy attacks. And of course, Yuna casts re-raise on herself. Thanks for that, I guess. Okay, so that's actually pretty good. I thought I saw Immobilize pop up, but guess not. That was weird. But so that actually hit, and that was the Limit Burst. And looks like Lilith goes down instantly, so that's not good. But we're hoping that Barret can actually get some hits in. And there goes the raise. That is, of course, going to miss. And, of course, the reflex is going to completely stop any chance of accuracy. So, basically, we got one hit in. And Yuna's still trying to raise. So, this is a fail big time. And, of course, the re-raise kicks off. And watch her try to heal. Would be nice if she got an Aeon Bond off, but I don't think that's going to happen at this point. Okay, so that was a complete fail. I did not expect Lilith to go down that quickly, but I guess Lilith did hit that one hit, and Barret got reflexed, so doesn't really tell us much in terms of if the accuracy is working, but that still seems like a pretty strong team to go up against. So even regardless of the accuracy, it's a very fearsome team, I guess. Oh, RNGesus in the house. Let's see if we could find another evasion team. Alright, so this is looking pretty good and evasive. We got the tetrasulfide on Tifa, and they themselves have a healer. So this should be an interesting one, regardless of whether it's a win or a loss. So let's jump in there. And I don't know if I mentioned it already, but sorry if you can hear the music in the background. Someone's having a party outside, so. And also I don't have a camera on because I'm just tired. And it's late. It's actually 11 right now, p.m. So it's a little late for me. Alright, so we do get a hit in. I didn't see if that was a skill or anything. But Yuna is like really far away. And Lilith is in desperate need of a heal right now. Barret with the miss. And Lilith with a start. It was a sharpshoot. I wonder if that was a sharpshoot before. I didn't really get to see. Yuna's in trouble here. And she is 100% dead. And she's got the re-raise, but I don't think that's really going to help her too much. It looks like Lilith is just going for sharpshoots. So maybe the accuracy is not working out right now. Maybe we could find a team with a little less evasion, like not a full evade team, but evasion, either evasion units or evasion VC or evasion equipment, but not all at the same time. Alright, so that was a complete and total fail. I mean, it was a loss. It was a complete and total loss, but can't really consider it a fail because what we're doing is we're trying to learn and see if we can actually do some good damage and get stuff done. Alright, so maybe I'm sort of thinking of having Yuna in the middle. Since that's not really the tank slot, that's probably the slot that would be attacked last, unless that person moves up too far. And she should be able to heal from either side. So that's kind of what I'm thinking there. And if anything, Lilith can sort of run to the side and sort of... Oh, and one other thing I kind of always forget about. Maybe that's just in duel, but there's a way to position all your units on the same side. I don't think that's in arena actually, so maybe that's just a duel thing. But that would be somewhat helpful if I could do that. Alright, so looking at this, we got the Tifa and the 2B cards. And 2B has the Sage's hat, and Tifa has tetrasulfide. So that's a little too much evasion. So we have a 2B here. And again, it's kind of the same thing. Double Sage's hat. So maybe it might be worth just doing it. Let me double check these. So this is single Sage's hat, but both cards. This one is not really, I mean, the Tifa is evasive. So let's go for this one as sort of a warm-up in air quotes. And their attack power is super high compared to ours. We do have the magic and the healing now, so maybe that'll make a difference, but we shall see. We shall see. Alright, so we got the Revitalize, and Lilith moves all the way up. Hoping that Yuna can re-raise Barret, and she goes straight in for the energy ray. Yuna, you're a healer. You're supposed to heal. What are you doing? Alright, so Lilith was with a pretty decent attack on King Mont. So that's not bad. And Yuna actually gets hit a bit, but she uses the craziest counter in the game. So I'm surprised she didn't take much damage off of that. So Yuna goes for the Holy, and apparently Yuna is on a mission to get some kills in. So hopefully she goes for a Holy over here on Tifa, because that's where we need it to go. Looks like King Mont is being drawn over to Barret by the hate, so that's good. But Barret's being drawn to King Mont, And Yuna with the crazy heals as usual. So don't think Yuna's going to be going down. Not happy that she used Holy on King Mont instead of Tifa. I don't know why she would do that. But, ooh, she got herself killed. Alright, so it's up to a bunch of sharpshoots here. I don't know if the sharpshoot is actually stronger than Barrage. But there's a Zantetsuken, so that's Odin. Yeah, so it looks like Lilith is actually just doing sharpshoots, which is crazy because before she would try other attacks when she didn't have accuracy stuff on. So I don't know what's up with that. And Yuna's just, I guess Yuna is really just drawn in by the hate. I think that was probably part of that issue. Alright, so I'm trying to think if there's anything I can change on Yuna. I do want to have her on Summoner of Spirits just because I feel like that's the most supportive version of her. Alright, I think I disabled Kiraga because of she tries to get herself in the heal for no reason. But yeah, I don't know, like, I feel like I'm gonna turn off Raze. I feel like she's usually doing healing moves, even if she's in range. That's sort of what I always thought her AI would do, but for some reason she's just not doing it. Alright, so let's see. Even the Tifa on her own was kind of a lot for us to handle. So I'm not sure if we can really take on another evasion team. We did have that team up above, but that had a Queen Helena in it. We might just go for it either way, depending on what we find here. So Zazan got the evasion, and they actually have their own Lilith with Golem. So it's like a tanky Lilith, somewhat evadey because she has the luck card. And she does probably have reflex as well. Yeah, so she's evading a couple of different ways. I kind of am wondering how I'll do against this team, but there's 2 double cost units and a pretty recent EX. So I don't know. I do have that same pretty recent EX, but I guess our builds are going to sort of determine who does better. But right now I'm really only concerned about the accuracy, and my Lilith gets destroyed by the drain charge. Okay, so it looks like that defense penetration is actually really good. And I was actually looking at the platinum bow, and apparently my platinum bow is just really bad. I always thought that it was a lower attack stat than the killer bow, but apparently it's a higher attack stat. So mine is just doing pretty badly. I have to actually build next. I think it's a +4, so I might have to build it into a +5 and make sure I get that to level 50 and max out the stats as much as I can. Looks like even with all that stuff on, Barret is not landing hits. So that's pretty much it for Yuna. Alright, so this is actually not working at all whatsoever. But that's okay. I think what we're going to do is sort of adjust a little bit. Not adjust any of the equipment or anything, but just kind of adjust what we're attacking. So instead of trying to go after evade teams, let's try to see if we can find a team that feels kind of meta, like a King Mon and something else, or like a Queen Helena or something else that might have an evade unit on it. So this Tifa's a little weak, so I'm going to back out of this one. Alright, so we're probably going to get roasted here, so let's just jump in there anyway. This is a pretty meta looking team, and it has a magic attacker. So let's just jump into this and see what happens. So I guess the one good thing about the accuracy card is that Cloud does have a blind skill. So if that does land, hopefully we're able to still attack through it. but we'll have to see for that. And part of this is going to be also just surviving attacks, because I feel like these three units are pretty offensive units in general. Like, all three of them are DPS, premium DPS units. So big reflex there. She doesn't survive the basically the one shot, so this might go poorly for the rest of this match. But Barret did get off a nice slow, and he did the defense down. Cloud actually has his missile attacks, so he gets some pretty good range off of that. Barret gets destroyed by a magic attack, and Queen Helena still alive even after that defense down, so she's actually decently tanky. Without the support from Yuna, though, I don't think Barret's going to do much. I thought she had a heal going, but she didn't actually do much there. Okay, so maybe the fully meta team, not the team to go after. So let's see what else kind of team we can find, because I'm kind of tired of going after these triple lightning teams. If we have like one Dwayne, that would be okay, like one premium unit, but this is a nightmare to deal with. I'm not really sure about this team. We have the magic, so that's not good, and then we have a tank and a healer. I'm gonna stay away from that one. All right, so this one is interesting. So it's our typical 2 lightning units, and then we have Yuna as a healer. I'm not sure if these units even can survive attacks. I think they will survive attacks, so Yuna should be able to heal them. So let's kind of see if we can out-damage Yuna's healing on this one. The Cloud might go down quickly, but I think he's actually on the side opposite from Lilith, so he should have a chance, you know. Alright, so there's my re-raise, and there's their re-raise. Alright, so that's a one-shot on Frederica. So maybe this is not the best defensive team. Oh, Frederica's back. So we're going to have to do some killing here, because not only was that a full life, but then Cloud still has that re-raise. And there's a big reflex. But at least, well, never mind. I was going to say at least we did damage on Yuna, but that's not the case. Alright, so let's see what Lilith can do. Another reflex. So even though we didn't like actually damage Yuna, we lowered her defense, and now she's confused, so I hope that means she can't counter as well. So at least that's gonna stop her healing for a little bit. And we have a third reflex from Frederica, and we were able to finish off Yuna. Here's another reflex. So I better get like 2 reflexes on Lilith. Big re-raise there. Oh, another reflex. I was gonna say Barret got another turn, like he got the re-raise right before his turn, so that would have been good, but that reflex was a little too crazy. Another reflex from Frederica. I don't know. Okay, so there's the re-raise. Oh lord. Okay, finally. So that's the Santetsuken from Odin, and it comes down to Lilith and Cloud. I was about to call him out. Ooh, he actually survives that attack. Ooh, Lilith survives. Oh my god, that was ridiculous. If there was like one more reflex in that match, I would have probably stopped the video right there and broken something. But we did manage to finish that one off. So that ended up well, and it was a very interesting fight. Maybe without all the reflexes, maybe that would have been a little too one-sided, but apparently RNGesus just came down and casted Holy or something. So this is almost the same team, except the Cloud is 120. So I'm interested to see how I'll do against this. And sort of let's check out if they have defensive. So Cloud has the single target defense. Yuna just has Spirit, I guess, and I forget what this does. This is slash resistance, I think. on Frederica. Slash resistance and defense. So there is some defense on there, but not really. That slash resistance doesn't really help against us. Oh, so look at this. The Frederica only has 24 brave. So this might be this might be an easy win. Just because of that. Let's see what the Cloud has. 97. So I don't know. This guy must have been auto farming and forgot to raise her Barret back up. So all right, let's see what happens here. Okay. So, like, pretty much 0 damage on Lilith. Alright, so Steel Skin. Yuna casts re-raise on herself, so that's probably good, I think. And then Frederica goes down pretty quickly. The amount of defense she had wasn't enough. So we have a chance to heal Barret here, and I think he will be healed. Hopefully that's enough to survive one more attack. Because if that's the case, then Cloud might actually go down. Alright, so actually that's like right on the borderline. Oh, so Lilith comes from across the map and one-shots the rest of Cloud. Well, it's not technically a one-shot, but you know what I mean. Alright, so I think that went worse for their team. Well, okay, here's Yuna again. But in terms of their survivability, they just didn't get any reflexes in, so that was a much more one-sided match. The Cloud was doing good damage, but the Yuna was able to keep up with the healing, my Yuna. So, I don't know. I kind of want to find something different now. I am kind of liking the healing power onto, Barret so that he can actually tank some more hits. That does seem like it's working pretty well. I wish I could get all 3 units to group up a little bit better. Okay, so here's a Warrior of Light. Kind of wondering how he'll do with the hate, but he's kind of off to the side, so I feel like that's not really going to be that good of a battle. Here's Charlotte. Oh, here's an evade team probably. Let's avoid that one. Philord. So here's the triple lightning team. Triple lightning. I don't even know what this is. Let me stay away from that one. We have the Cloud. We have the Monts. Yeah, that looks very evadey, but kind of not really. The 2B is very evadey. The Zazan and the Tifa not so much. Maybe the Zazan, he has a lot of speed there. So let's not go for that one. Let's not go for this one. All right, this one looks interesting. We have the evade unit, very evadey. We have Cloud, the DPS unit, and we have a tank. Single target resist, a lot of single target resist, a lot of slash resist, which we are not worried about. So this one seems like it might be interesting. Let's jump into this one and see what happens. Okay, so starting setup here. We got the Revitalize. Oh, we have the 2B on that side. Oh, but she moved to the right, so that's good. Alright, so that's going to sort of give Lilith time to kind of build up a little bit, buff up. We got the re-raise on Barret. And Lilith doesn't really do anything, but she really didn't need to. She just got that extra turn of bells and was able to generate AP from that. I didn't see what Barret just did, but it was an AoE attack. I think, was that the Esper? I'm not really sure. Barret with the poison on him. And Yuna just comes in with the attack. So actually hit that 2B with a non-holy, so that's good-ish. Ooh, that's bad. I was gonna say we need Yuna to get in there and heal. Oh my god, with the sleep. Okay, so we're stunned over here, and Yuna's dead, and we die from poison. The re-raise, but that doesn't give us another turn. Wow, that was actually between the sleep blade and the poison, and Cloud doing like 11,000 damage. That was a little rough. That was a little bit rough. I think that might have been the last orb that we had. That would be kind of a crappy one to end on, but I think this video is probably long enough. Okay, so we have one more. Alright, so, ooh, what's this first one? We have Mont with single target resistance, and then I think that's the Brigandine for the area resistance. There's so many armors nowadays that I just forget what they do. Alright, so we have the Cloud, we have the Frederica. Frederica has single target resistance as well. So that's I might come back to that one. That one seems pretty good. Kind of want to stay away from the Gilgamesh. We got the Dwayne, the Cloud. That is super DPS. I don't want to do that one. Typical lightning team. This is a nice mix. I don't think I could do well against this. But, alright, so let's see. We have the slash resistance and double slash resistance on Warrior of Light. He's got a ton of slash resistance, actually. He has the Demon Wall and the... Is that the Platinum Helmet? That's a lot of slash resistance on that Warrior of Light. He also has that Three Sisters card. So that gives missile resistance as well, I think. 95 slash resistance and 30% missile resistance. I think this is going to be too much for us to handle, considering it's also a crazy DPS summer kill phase. So I'm going to pass on that one. Okay, so 2 evade units. That's a little too much for me. 2 evade units. I think the Shinra Bangle is more of an accuracy thing, but I think this is too evasive for me. Way too evasive. Evasive, Dwayne, and evasive. Red 13 in the house. Okay, so this one I might go for. King Mont, he's got the area resistance. Single target. Actually, this reminds me of the first one. So that's Red 13. Yeah, it's the first one, except I think this one is fully maxed out to 120. So let's attack this one. So that's 3,200 attack, and this one is 3,200. So let's attack this bottom one. Maybe they have more defense and stuff. Red 13. So let's go for that one. And see how we do against it. I'm not really expecting much out of this, but, you know, just testing it out just to see if we could really stand up against teams. And if not, it looks like I might have some tweaking to do. Alright, so right away, Frederica with a big hit. I wonder if Lilith will go after Mont or Frederica. She goes after Mont, and he takes like no damage. And she goes down instantly. I guess Barret's not close enough to draw the hate away. But now he will be, but I think it's going to be too late. Do I actually have him on Gunner? Oh no. I mean, I guess it doesn't make that much of a difference, because he really mostly uses his main job skills. But it sort of doesn't give us any extra options. So there's the re-raise, kind of not the greatest timing. I wonder if I have Tifa's TMR off. I mean, not Tifa, Yuna. Because she just hasn't been using that. And I think that instant heal is much better than, at least, you know, the first time, it's much better than trying to charge up a Curata. Especially when she goes like right after Barret. Alright, so that was kind of a bust. I'm wondering if I 120 Yuna and get her the full life enhancement, if she would do like way better. I mean, she did have some opportunities to raise that she missed, so that's a possibility. So let's see. The TMR is on, so I'm not sure why she didn't do that. Maybe she wasn't in range. And then there's Prey, which is also on. So maybe she also wasn't in range for that. I'm not entirely sure. And also I see that it's level 18, so maybe that's part of the reason. Let me actually, maybe for tomorrow or for whenever, I'm going to try to raise these levels to max. And then I'm also going to try to get her to level 120 and unlock that full life. Alright, so let me leave it there. Kind of disappointing runs today, but I think, you know, well, part of it is like we're a lot higher now. What was our rank? 3,902. So, I mean, it's not super high, but it's higher. But I really shouldn't make that excuse. Like, the team should be built to take on some of the top ranking people. So, you know, part of Arena, to me at least, is having to spend the time to sort of, you know, lose and figure out why you lost, and then just keep tweaking until you can do better. And sort of also figuring out the part of Arena is also figuring out the teams that you go against. So there is a lot of, you know, triple lightning team that I could have gone against and probably won. So maybe this team is just going to be good against that. It is a very popular team right now, and it is fairly meta considering they have Cloud, and Frederica's actually pretty good, and Ninus is a really good support. Charlotte is actually, I don't really know that much about Charlotte, but she is a really recent unit, so she's actually pretty good in terms of power creep. So, you know, maybe that is what we should go after, considering what our team is built like. And considering, like, we kind of did well against it in the last few days. So, these are just some thoughts that I'm having right now. Nothing is really, you know, objective, or nothing is set in stone. It's really all about experimenting. Like, I think that's sort of the fun, a lot of the fun in this game. And part of the reason I don't really play Arena that much is because that does take a lot of time, and it does take a lot of mental power. And for myself, I'm kind of usually pretty tired getting out of work and stuff like that. So a lot of times I kind of just auto my way through Arena and don't really think about it. But it can be very fun to figure stuff out like this and sort of look through your weapons and your equipment and stuff, your VCs, and figure out like how you can fix a problem that you're having. So those are just some thoughts that I have on PvP in general and Arena. I hope that's kind of helpful, but I'm sort of just trying to send the message that it's more about experimenting right now, not so much, you know, I am sort of trying to spotlight Barret in this, but I'm not going to act like Barret's going to be like the most OP unit or anything. I'm just trying to see if we could get him to work with stuff. And these are kind of like a few builds that I've tried with him. He does have some other options, but it's really a matter of sort of figuring out what those other options are. I was thinking of some stuff earlier today, but I decided to stick with this. Because I thought this would do like really well. Didn't really do as well as I thought, especially having to have Yuna in the middle. I didn't really like the way she was kind of wandering off by herself on the left side. So, you know, that might take some experimenting. Like maybe she does better on the right side. I noticed that with Nivlu. I think on the right side she was better, or something like that. It was weird. I made a weird change like that, and all of a sudden the right side was completely different from what she did on the left side. It's crazy. So my point is that it just takes a lot of experimenting, and, you know, you may approach getting something that's sort of like the perfect way to use your team, but that's still not going to be the perfect to use against everything. It's just going to kind of go up against specific teams. All right, I think I've kind of made my point enough, so I'll just leave it there. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope to have another one soon. All right, guys, have yourselves a good night.